Two students, same GPA, same background, both applying to Penn Law. The only difference? One applied in February with a 172, the other in December with a 168. Fast forward, the first student's headed to Penn Law with a full scholarship, while the other is paying full tuition. What's the secret? The February LSAT window. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make it work for you, even if you're watching this in mid-January and feeling behind. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, most people believe February is too late for law school applications. They imagine that admissions committees have already moved on, or that scholarship money has dried up. But that's not really how it works. By February, law schools are looking closely at the quality of their incoming class. They still have spots to fill. And if you show up with a stellar LSAT score, even slightly better than what you had in November or December, it can tip the balance in your favor. Why? Because admissions offices love strong stats. They love high numbers. A higher LSAT boosts their class profile, helps boost their LSAT median, and they're often willing to reward that with scholarship money or more favorable admissions decisions. Take my student Jessica as an example. A couple of years back, she got a 164 on the November LSAT, and she considered just applying and hoping for the best. But instead, she decided to push her LSAT retake to February, gave it a few extra weeks on hyper-focused LSAT prep, and came out the other end with a 171 LSAT score. That 7-point jump turned her from a borderline applicant into someone who received a half-tuition scholarship. That February LSAT test date gave her the time to refine her strategy and get a top score. Now let's talk about the three biggest reasons February is a powerful strategic play, especially if you're watching this in mid-January. First off, it gives you another at-bat to take the LSAT. If November wasn't your best day, February gives you another chance. Schools don't care about when you get your highest LSAT score, just that you have it. In fact, they prefer to see that you're determined and capable of improvement. Secondly, scholarships are still available. Schools allocate scholarships throughout the cycle. They hold some funds in reserve to attract strong candidates who apply in February. If your February LSAT score is compelling, they might use that remaining scholarship budget to incentivize you to enroll. And yield protection works in your favor. By February, schools do start worrying about yield, the percentage of admitted students who actually attend. A high LSAT score at this stage can make you a must-admit candidate because you'll help them maintain a competitive class profile. Yes, schools allocate scholarship money throughout the cycle, but they also hold some funds in reserve to attract strong applicants who apply a bit later. If your February LSAT score is compelling, they might use the remaining scholarship budget to incentivize you to enroll. Now, a lot of applicants miss out because they assume that the February LSAT is a desperate move, so they don't prepare properly. They either coast on November LSAT's prep or they scramble without a plan. That's why the February LSAT advantage often goes wasted. But if you're strategic, and I'll show you how, this can be a real game changer. Now, if you're seeing this now, you're probably thinking, am I too late to ramp up for February? Absolutely not, if you plan well. Take the next few weeks from mid to late January to take a full-length practice test, ID your weak areas, and be brutally honest with yourself. Think about which question types or sections drain your time or cause repeated errors. Then you also want to refine your study materials, narrow it down. You don't need 10 different resources or 10 different courses. Pick one and stick with it. Your goal is depth, not breadth. Then, in late January going into early February, focus on drills and review. Concentrate on specific question types that are costing you the most points. Use error logs or the Socratic review method to break down exactly why you're making mistakes. And then, of course, wrap it all up with full-length timed exams, ideally 1 or 2 each week, simulating test day conditions as closely as possible, the same start time, the same break schedule, and you track your progression carefully. Now maintain your self-care, keep yourself mentally resilient, sleep, diet, exercise, keep those dialed in. Even a few extra hours of rest can significantly improve your focus. Now let's look at 3 real student scenarios from a couple of years back. Emily got a 158 on November LSAT, but increased 5 points to a 163 in February. The outcome moved her from getting off the waitlist at mid-tier schools to receiving acceptances with partial scholarships. The second student is Michael. He got a 161 in November, but increased 4 points to a 165 in February. That moved him from being borderline at some T30 law schools to a T20 acceptance with a significant scholarship. And finally, Amy jumped from a 170 in November to a 173 in February. That 3-point increase got her a near full tuition scholarship at a top 14 law school by leveraging that late cycle high score to stand out. The difference in each case is that a few extra points gained through targeted, disciplined studying leading up to the February test made a significant difference in both getting in and getting scholarship money. You might think scholarship budgets are tighter at this stage, but schools will stretch it for top performers. So how do you maximize these last few weeks? First, pinpoint your weak areas. Don't try to study everything equally. ID the exact question types or sections where you could pick up the easiest points quickly. Secondly, daily drills. Commit to consistent, short, high-intensity drills. For example, if reading comp is your weak areas, do a few dense passages each day under strict conditions. Third, of course, full-length practice tests at least once a week. This is non-negotiable. You've got to build stamina and reduce your test day anxiety. Fourth is incorporating the Socratic review method. After each practice test, spend at least twice as long reviewing mistakes as you did taking the exams. Dissect every single wrong answer, what tricked you, what you overlooked, and how to spot it next time. Finally, take those few weeks between taking the February LSAT and getting your score back to work on your application essays, personal statement, optional essays, addenda. Polish them up during those couple of weeks. You want to be able to hit submit as soon as those scores are released. So here's what to do right now. First, create your study plan. From mid-January through test day, plan out what you're going to do every single day, ideally at least 1 to 2 hours per day. If you'd like my help, at LSAT Unplugged, we create personalized day-by-day study plans for all of our students, pairing it with private one-on-one coaching, ideally once or twice a week from now through your test date. If you'd like my help getting that top score in February, especially if you're retaking, my team and I would be glad to help you out. You could check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. Secondly, you want to eliminate distractions, because if you're serious about capitalizing on the February LSAT, you can't afford to waste time doom scrolling social media. Consider using website blockers or scheduling dedicated study blocks in your calendar, because if it's not on your calendar, it's not happening. Finally, ask yourself the hard questions. If you're not seeing improvement, think about where you might need to refine your approach, maybe focusing more on review, or maybe shifting the balance from drills to thorough post-test analysis. And so, if you're watching this now, the February LSAT's not just a backup plan, it's a strategic move that can redefine your entire admissions outcome. Don't fall for the myth that it's not too late. Instead, use these final weeks to fine-tune your skills and jumpstart your applications, because a few extra points in February can mean the difference between thousands of dollars in debt versus thousands of dollars in scholarship money. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. If you'd like my help, check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.